No, you're not.
An adulterer, an adulterer, whether it's a male or a female, that person is innocent of a state crime. They may have committed a personal crime, but they are innocent. They could be.
In the Sharia,
if you wanted to punish them,
in the Sharia, they're not innocent.
if you wanted to punish them, why would you have to kill them?
No.
Why can't it be a fine?
Okay, you finish.
Okay, go on.
Okay, firstly, you can't decide what the Sharia consists of. Okay? So in this country, committing adultery is fine. There's even websites that you can go and commit adultery. There are websites that you can go on.
What crime has she committed? What crime has he or she committed, though?
But let me finish, yeah? Okay, to crime against who? So if we look at today's society, everyone, you go have one day nightstand, have intimacy with this person, that person, is calm. But the ripple effects of that, do you know in London there are 1 million people with STDs?
What crime has she committed, though?
Crime, I'm trying to make it explain.
The point we're making is she innocent of a crime?
No, not she, it's he and she.
He or she, okay, he or she.
Okay, there is a crime the Sharia has implemented, but it is more of a deterrent because the conditions to stone someone to death, by the way, is what? 4 people have to witness actual penetration.
Unless he or she confesses.
Yes, that's the second one. But and that comes back to, and it proves my point. 4 people, witnesses. Number one, how could 4 righteous people? Number one, you're not allowed to spy. If a Muslim man, is in his own house, he's doing homosexual acts, no, you are sinful to go and spy. And you will get lashed. Because we know in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the man who came in, he said, I saw my wife committing intimacy with another man. Can you imagine? Why would he lie for? He came and the Prophet said, well, I'm going to have to flog you 100 times for slander. Can you imagine how you feel as you've seen your wife cheat on you? You're devastated. You go to the Messenger of God, the Messenger of God in Islam, which, they never give Muslim women rights. We force our wives. When I go home, I got a big stick. I'll start beating my wife with it. Yeah. So the thing is, he said to the man, I'm going to flog you 100 times for slander, because to defend the honor of a woman is one of the 7 major sins. So the point here is the following. It is there. Why? Because it's a deterrent. How could you have 4 people seeing actual penetration happen? And this actually, one instance happened at the time of Umar ibn Khattab. And 4 of the companions came. Look, check this out, yeah? 4 of them came and testified. They said, we saw actual penetration happen. Literally. You know what the 4th one said? Umar ibn Khattab went to the 4th one and he said, are you sure? This is what he said. He said, I think so. Something along those lines. That word he said, you know what was the conclusion? All 4 got whipped in public. All 4 got whipped in public for slander. And one of the companions, when he was buried, you know what he said? He said, I know I saw that and I will testify to Allah. He was that certain. They all got whipped. The point here is the Sharia is not bloodthirsty, we want to stone people. The Sharia wants to protect the community as a whole and deter you. Because when you think about stoning to death, you're like, yo, I mean, if I'm not happy with my wife and my wife's not happy with me, you have a right to divorce. In Judaism, you're not allowed to divorce. A woman is not allowed. It's called a get. Yeah, you need to get the get. If the man gives it, if the man doesn't give it, you are married to him forever. But Islam is there to protect it. So, hope that answers your question.
Okay. What crime has the homosexual done, according to society?
Okay. Again,
that's a death penalty again, isn't it?
The first person.
No, but it is a death penalty for homosexuality.
No, scholars differ. Scholars differ.
Okay.
Some do say death penalty. Let me say it. The first person to implement this LGBT, against homosexuals and gays was ISIS. In entire history of Islam, the only people, this illegitimate Khilafah, these rebels, yeah, who they send me death threats, happy days, yeah, all day, every day, they send me death threats, yeah. They think I'm an apostate, by the way, yeah. So they were the ones the first time they threw some homosexual off a building or something like that, yeah. In Islamic history, you will not find this. Ali
burnt atheists.
No. And
Abu Bakr
he rebuked him. He rebuked him.
Homosexuals.
No, he rebuked him. No, I'm so sorry. Where'd you get that from? Abu Bakr burned homosexual. Please get that. I've never heard that in my life. Ali burning them, which he was rebuked for.
Yeah, and he was rebuked because he burnt them, but he wasn't.
Yes,
he wasn't rebuked that he killed them. He wasn't rebuked that he killed them.
No. These were a group of people who said to Ali, "We believe you're God." You know what's very actually strange is that when he set them on fire, he said, "We definitely know you're God because only God punishes with fire." Okay. So the thing here is this: in an Islamic country.
No, but he burnt atheists then.
No, they weren't atheists. There was no atheists. Trust me.
Wait, he burnt non-believers.
Yeah? No, he burned a group of people who I think they were Shia. They were people who
were Shia at the time. I mean, it's
no.
It's
they had extra. They kind of worship Ali.
And Ibn Abbas says, and Ibn Abbas heard that Ali had burnt atheists.
Yes.
And he said that
Yes.
The Prophet
Not
said.
atheists. Why do you keep saying atheists? Where'd you get this from?
Well,
They're not atheists.
I'm sure
No,
it was
they're not
not believers. I'm sure it was not believers.
No. They
But
fell
anyway.
into disbelief. But the point is this.
But anyway, he said that the Prophet said that you shouldn't burn anyone with
Because
Allah's
Allah
punishment.
is the one who
but
punished with the fire.
if he was there, he would have killed him. Because
If he was there.
if Ibn Abbas was there.
But what did we say to you? There is capital punishment. Who denied capital punishment in
Yeah,
Islam?
yeah.
What I'm saying is the following: the punishment for adultery, those who commit sex outside of marriage, who are not married, and for example, other examples that I gave you, these are capital punishments to deter you, because in an Islamic court, we're not like, vigilantes where we're like, yeah, let's go and hunt people down. It doesn't work like that. We have a court system where you take the individual through the process. If somebody says I've left Islam, you talk to him. Why did you leave Islam? Because I watched. No, we're not. No, what you explained there. If he says I have a doubt, like today I had a person who came to me and I said I had a bit of a doubt. I answered this question and he went home happy. It's as simple as that. So stop making it seem as if Muslims are there
I'm not talking about
to
Muslims.
hunt down.
I'm not talking about Muslims.
Yeah, but that's
I'm
what
talking about
saying to you.
Islam.
Yes, I did. I just explained to
okay.
you.
So you said that you're allowed to kill adulterers because of the influence that they're going to have on society.
Capital punishment for adultery.
For the influence they're going to have on society, yeah?
No, the wisdoms can vary. The wisdoms can vary. Adultery, capital punishment for treason or apostasy. Capital punishment to Muslim highway robbers.
Apostasy is
There's
treason.
capital punishment. Yes, it can be classed as. What do you think?
Wait,
What are they doing? What are they doing? Why are they coming?
Apostasy is not treason.
It can be state and religion is same.
No, but it essentially is not believing anymore.
No. But what?
It's not believing anymore.
But the
That's
issue,
what
the
apostasy
issue
is.
is not about not just believing. The point here is not just somebody came and changed his mind. This is straw manning the whole
Saib
argument.
Bukhari, the Prophet did say, whoever leaves his Islamic religion, kill him.
No, and there's another one. The Prophet said, the one who leaves religion abandons his people. Kill him.
Which school says that you shouldn't kill the apostate?
There is.
The Hanafi doesn't say that. The Maliki doesn't say that. The Shafi doesn't say that.
I know. There's as far
There's
as I
no
know. No, I know there's no school. When did I say to you there is a school that says it does?
Which school?
The point is this. I never said there isn't. I'm
Okay.
saying to you, I'm in agreement with you that there is capital punishment. But the point is, the way you're making it seem as if that if somebody wants to leave their religion, for example, somebody says, I've left. You live under the rule of, let's say, the Sharia, yeah? Okay, you can choose to go. Now, I give the example of Edward Snowden and, what's that guy's name? WikiLeaks, I forgot his name, yeah? The WikiLeaks guy, yeah? These are two individuals who talked about the war crimes. They talked about war crimes that were committed, yeah? They are now they're on the run. The point is the following. Every state has a right to protect its citizens. Every system, UK, not UK, every system has a right to protect the citizens. MI5 or anyone, you're not going to have MI5 just hiring people, yeah? If I go there to say, I want to join MI5, they'll say he's a Muslim, he's probably against us, argument's sake. They are not, because it's intelligence. You can't just go in and come out. Bro, I'll probably get executed by one of their hitmen without nobody knowing. Why? Because the thing
crime has the apostate done?
I made it
He's
clear.
simply...
You can carry on. Repeat it 10 times if you like. Go look at the camera and say repeat it 10 times.
No.
I've answered. You're just repeating the same thing.
No, but you're saying he's committed treason. Yeah?
That could be one of the wisdoms I said.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're saying that if he apostatizes, he should leave his homeland.
Yeah, Ibn al-Qayyim said he can even be sent to a different country.
Okay. What if he doesn't want to leave his homeland?
No, he has to. It's not if he doesn't want to. This is Islamic rule, yeah? Just as, for example, Edward Snowden didn't want to leave America, but now he ran to, I think, China, then from China to Russia.
Yeah, he betrayed secrets.
No. 1 second. What secrets? That the government is spying on us.
I mean,
and what?
He betrayed secrets.
What secrets?
I mean, I don't
No,
believe.
what secrets?
I actually believe that Snowden should be allowed to live in America.
No, you can believe what you want.
But
This is American
he did,
law.
But he did betray the secrets of America to the world.
Okay, why is that so deep? What happened to freedom of speech?
Whereas the apostle,
What happened to freedom of speech?
if you sign
what? Contractarianism.
If you make a deal, if you make a deal in a
Uh-huh.
job and you sign the secrecy
No.
act,
What if you have a deal with the state?
If you sign the secrecy act, you're not supposed.
What if you have a deal with the state?
When you get a job with the government,
Yeah.
they make you sign certain agreements.
Yes, okay, yeah.
And one of the agreements is the secrecy act. Is
Okay.
that what you see you cannot reveal. And he
Okay.
reveals what he shouldn't have revealed.
Okay.
The apostate is just leaving
That's
his religion.
nonsense. That is absolute garbage to say that the apostate is just like, change my religion. 1 second.
Yeah,
If
just
there is a
leave it.
doubt, no, 1 second. If a person has a doubt in his religion, he will say, I would like that doubt to be answered. Most ex-Muslims, yeah, that they are apparently their lives in danger. Look, I'm being honest. I don't buy it. Let me tell you why I don't buy it, yeah? Because them leaving their religion, they are very, very... Do you know how hostile ex-Muslims are to the Muslims community, to Islam? They are one of the most hostile people. And this is not just them. Anyone that has an ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, ex-wife, ex-husband, my friend, there's a statement. Never trust an ex. Yeah, like when it comes to ex, let me go and ask Superman's Superwoman. Yeah, how was he? Oh, he used to beat me up. Oh, really? An ex will never say anything good about you. The point is the following.
Death penalty for them.
No, it's not about death penalty, my friend.
And they get disowned by the family.
My friend, if you went to your ex-wife and spoke to her and she said, oh yeah, I don't argue with you. I'm not saying you do this or don't. Oh, he used to beat me up, or he used to cheat on this side. Man, it's an ex. I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt. Yeah? It might be real or not. The point is this. Any ex, you can be ex-Russian. There's Russian agents who are here who had the nerve agent, and there was a case outside London as well. The point is the following. Don't make apostasy ruling the capital punishment as if Islam is the only exclusive religion. Go look into the Bible. Jesus, the God of Old Testament, says any God you worship other than me, put him to death. This is not something exclusive to Islam. Stop making it seem as if you've got us somewhere. No, you do. You make it seem as if Islam is a very weak religion.
If I was debating with another religion, I would mention the flaws of that religion.
The thing is, you never do it. For some
how do you know this? How do you know this? How do you know this?
I watch a lot of videos.
I just finished answering questions to Bob. So anyway, it's a different matter. What crime has the blasphemer done?
I explained it.
You explained blasphemy?
I explained it.
Okay.
Just as someone has secrecy agreements, when you become a Muslim, yeah, you have this secret thing that you think about, you have allegiance to the state. State and religion is one, it's not separate, yeah? You have allegiance. It's as good as you or anybody applying to join the FBI or the CIA. They're not going to hire anyone.
I'm talking blasphemy. Blasphemy is different from apostasy.
No, one second. No, even if blasphemy, apostasy,
define blasphemy for me.
For example, someone, for example, who insults the Prophet, peace be upon him. If it's somebody who, for example, and this is under Islamic rule again, yeah, under Islamic rule. Well, I took my umbrella. I was going to use it for us. Here we go.
But if someone in Islam who is a Muslim, if he says something that there's a general agreement about,
yes, he has. As far as I know, they'll give him 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
To firstly see if he's sane.
But no, you're talking apostasy, I'm talking blasphemy.
No, blasphemy. Yeah, blasphemy. If somebody Muslim insults the Prophet, first thing you need to do is see if he's mentally well.
Have you heard of a man called Abu Afa? Abu Afa.
No.
In Medina. Asma bin Marwan?
Who?
Asma bin Marwan.
Is it the woman who wrote the poetry?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. She was killed for blasphemy, wasn't she?
Yes.
For writing poetry.
Yes, capital punishment. No,
what did she? It's not
a matter of writing poetry. The way you make it seem is like an innocent person who's just writing poetry. You need to understand, in war, different methods are used. In war, media is used.
Asma bin Marwan wasn't at war.
No, come on. What does going to war mean? If I stand here and I say, for example, the Jews have done A, B, C, D, etc. I am indirectly provoking people who might be senseless to do senseless acts. So when you say poetry, you're making it seem an innocent woman just writing poetry, and for God's sake, the Prophet, peace be upon him, had nothing better to do. You need to understand it's an act of war, and especially what the Prophet, peace be upon him, and his companion went through, where they were killed, tortured, which you deny, which I find it bizarre.
Wait. I said they were persecuted, but I said no.
Killed.
I said no Muslim was killed in Medina.
Yes, they were.
In
Sumayya,
in the 12 years Mecca.
Ammar,
not according to Ibn Kathir or Tabari.
No, it is. You're lying.
Not according to Ibn Kathir or Tabari.
You're lying.
I haven't got my phone on me,
because I've got it here.
Okay.
I'll show you. You're lying.
Okay, what source is
Show
it?
me.
Go on, show me. Remember what we're talking about. We're talking about, are you allowed to kill innocent people in Islam?
I've answered that.
No, I'm just making sure that the audience knows what the debate is about, because we might move on to different
Ibn Hajar mentions the narration from Mujahid, and it says it's authentic chain. Also, Imam Ahmed narrates the story, and it's authentic.
Is this from a Sahih book, or is it from
no, this Ibn Hajar mentions the narration from Mujahid, and it says it's authentic chain. Yes, it's probably Muslim or Bukhari.
If you can find it from Muslim,
no, you said to me,
because I don't trust that
you
source.
said Ibn Kathir. Well, I don't care what you trust. You said Ibn Kathir. Do you have evidence for that?
I haven't got my phone on me, but I'll have it next week, and I'll show you I'll show you what
Wow,
Ibn Kathir
I
says.
admire that. You came without a phone.
No,
I
I
wish I could do
forgot,
that.
and I was in a hurry to get out of the house.
No, it's fine. No, I admire
Anyway,
because I'm stuck to my
next
phone.
week I will show you
Show me.
on phone
Show me
that
on
Ibn
phone.
Kathir disagrees with you
Okay, no problem.
on that point.
Show me that.
But anyway,
that Ibn Kathir says that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Ibn
And,
Kathir
okay,
says
let's suppose Sumayya. What about, for example, we're going to go through the list, man. I'll go through it, yeah? Let me open it for you. What about Ammar? What about her husband?
Where in the Sahih?
What about
hadith
husband?
Where in the Sahih?
What about husband? It's in the Sirah.
Yeah,
It's in this book.
okay.
I'll show you the book. 1 second. Brother, there we go. In this book. This one.
And they were killed
Yes,
in Mecca. In Mecca.
Yes,
In
her
Mecca.
husband and her.
In
and
Mecca.
then her son.
Who?
Son was forced so much that he had to
Who?
say words of blasphemy to say.
And who are we talking about here? Who are we talking about?
What are you talking about?
You're talking about Sumayya.
Sumayya and her husband.
Okay, I'll show you what Ibn Kathir and what Tabari says next week.
Okay, well, we should have
Because
I
Tabari,
think-
according to Tabari,
Yes.
according to Al-Tabari,
I think
according to Al-Tabari, she survived, she married a Christian, and her descendants were part of the Umayyads.
Bring that. We'll have to
I'll
think
show
about
you
that,
next
yeah?
week. I'll show you next week.
Let me go through the people, yeah? The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him,
Are these in the hadith?
he was...
Because I want to
these
check it
are-
when I
look,
get home.
Anything that I tell you, get a book called The Sealed Nectar, yeah? You read it all there, yeah?
Go on.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was abused by Abu Lahab and his wife. There's a verse Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent, yeah? Okay.
So what did Abu Lahab do to him?
Abu Lahab...
And he didn't physically,
No,
he didn't physically touch him.
No, he tried to physically harm him as well. His wife used to put thorns underneath his feet, you know? And I think
and he wasn't physically attacked. No,
yes,
was he?
because he had protection from his uncle Abu Talib.
Okay, so-
yeah? Sumayya was killed. Yasir, her husband, was killed. Ammar ibn Yasir was their son. He was tortured so much that he had to call out to their God
Source.
to be saved. Amir ibn Bilal radiallahu anhu, you know yourself anyway, on rocks were put on him on a hot desert bed, and he did not renounce his religion. Abdullah ibn Haram, Abu Fakir was dragged by the feet, tied to his feet, dragged in Mecca.
Killed in Mecca.
Not
Was he killed?
Dragged. They weren't killed.
Was he killed?
These weren't killed.
These people weren't killed.
These people weren't killed. I mentioned them.
Because the point I was making is that the Meccans never killed a single
They killed
Muslim
Sumayya
when they were
and they
living in
killed
Mecca.
Ammar.
When they were living in
killed
Mecca.
Sumayya and they killed Ammar. Bring me your evidence otherwise.
I will bring you evidence.
You bring evidence. Till then,
These people weren't killed. You're mentioning.
These that weren't killed. They were tortured severely.
So I'm not disputing that the Muslims weren't persecuted.
No. How were they persecuted?
I'm not.
No. How were they persecuted?
No,
One second.
I'm saying, look.
Tied. 1 second. Tied.
Let me clear my point.
Put on
the
hot
Muslims
coal.
were persecuted in Mecca.
How?
I agree with you.
No, be graphic. How?
I just said that none of them were killed.
No, but how?
That's
My
the
friend,
point.
sometimes you would rather die. You rather, to be honest.
But the
sometimes
point
you
of
rather
the
die
matter-
than be persecuted. Putting on
Okay.
cold. You're
But
putting on cold.
What's
Can
the
you
point
imagine
I'm
putting on
making?
cold?
What's the point I'm making?
The
That
point
they
you're
weren't
making,
killed.
no, I don't get why you're even trying to make a point that they weren't killed. Are you
Yeah.
trying to dehumanize them?
No,
Are you trying to
no,
say,
no.
what's your point then?
Okay, the point I'm making is that now we're talking about the killing of innocent people. The Meccans never
mention
killed
that.
anyone. But when the Muslims took Mecca, Ibn Kathir, who was an apostate, was killed while your prophet was on the way to Mecca. And when he took Mecca, he said that not only should you kill Ibn Kathir, you should kill his slave girls. They never committed a crime.
Kill slave girls. I don't know what sources you're reading, but
Batada and her sister.
please bring these, please.
And Abdullah bin Saad was going to be killed.
Come on, look, please bring me these sources, yeah? Because all you're doing now is you're just talking, yeah? Bring your evidence about his slave girls were going to kill, that were going to kill. The Prophet, when he conquered Mecca, he could have slaughtered them all. He had no reason to let them live. He said today is a day of mercy, and he forgave all of them except 3-4 people he mentioned. He said kill them even if they're holding onto the ropes of the Kaaba. It's as simple as that. You're gonna you want Islam is a pacifist religion, throw flowers? No.
Can we get to the Banu Qurayza?
This is war.
Okay.
Get to Banu Qurayza.
Islam says that we don't kill innocent people.
I've said
Yeah.
that.
What did the Banu Qurayza do? The Jewish tribe, the third one.
Banu Qurayza.
Yeah, the Banu Qurayza.
Banu
So what
Qurayza,
they do?
Ibn Taymiyyah said they had a treatise on qital, fighting. This is book, treatise on qital and fighting. The battle waged by the Prophet peace be upon him against the pagans, 27 in number, were the results of the pagans being aggressive or the cause direct and indirect. And this emphasizes that the relation between the Muslims and the non-Muslims is one of peace, not war. And if this wasn't the case, then the Prophet peace be upon him would have initiated his battles. Sorry.
But the Banu Qurayza never killed a Muslim.
No, Banu Qurayza.
Nor did they harm any single
Banu
Muslim.
Aynuqa, Banu Nadir, and Banu Qurayza.
Yeah.
Banu Qurayza, they committed treason. They broke the treaty multiple times.
No,
Yeah.
the treaty
Yes, they did.
What treaty? What was the
Firstly,
treaty called? Treaty of Medina, you mean?
Yeah, Treaty of Medina.
No,
Yes.
no, their names were not
Yes,
on the
they
Treaty
did.
of Medina.
And Waqidi says, when the Messenger of God arrived in Medina, the Jews, all of them, were reconciled with him, and he wrote an agreement between him and them. The Prophet attached every tribe with its confederates and established a protection between himself and them. He stipulated the conditions on them, among which was stipulated that they would not help an enemy against him. When the Prophet overcame the companions of Badr, arrived in Medina, the Jews acted wrongfully and destroyed the agreement that was between them and the Messenger of God. The life of Muhammad al-Waqidi's Kitab al-Maghzi, yeah? Al-Tabari says, Al-Tabari, the Messenger of God remained in Medina after his return from Badr. When he first came to Medina, he had a compact with his Jews that they would not aid anyone against him, that if an enemy attacked him, they would come together to his aid. After the Messenger of God killed many polytheists of Quraysh, the Badr, the Jews were envious and behaved badly towards him, saying, "Oh Muhammad has not met anyone who is good at fighting. Had he met us, he would have had a battle which would be unlike a battle with anyone else." They also infringed the contract in various ways. The Banu Qaynuqa were the first to infringe the agreement between them and the Messenger of God. They took arms between Badr and Uhud. It's the history of Tabari. And this volume 7, 85, 86, yeah? They got arms, number 1, yeah? Ibn Ishaq says, Asim bin Umar bin Qatada said that Banu Qaynuqa were the first of the Jews to break the agreement with the Apostle and go to war between Badr and Uhud. And the Apostles besieged them until they surrendered unconditionally. Ibn Ishaq's Sirat Rasulullah, the life of Muhammad. So Banu Qaynuqa, I think these are the ones where the Prophet peace be upon him exiled them. If the Prophet is in power, no, one second.
We're talking about the Banu Qurayza.
No. What I'm trying to say is, if the Prophet wanted, he could have killed them. Why didn't he kill them? Why did he exile them?
Why did he take their money and then let them leave?
No, 1 second. No, why not kill them?
No, because he was advised by his people not to.
No, why not?
He was advised by his people not to.
No, but we like you see.
Because no. He pushed out the Banu Qaynuqa. Yeah.
Why?
But the Banu Nadir and the Banu Qurayza. The reason why I believe he kicked out the Banu Qaynuqa first, because the Banu Qaynuqa, he knew they had a disagreement with the other two tribes, and he knew that they were going to help them out.
No, they broke the treaty. One of the things Banu Qaynuqa did was they tied a Muslim woman's dress to a pole, that when she got up, her shame was exposed. And when a Muslim went, and then she shouted for help, and a Muslim came and saw this, got into a fight, and they killed that man.
But I'm not here to discuss the Banu Qaynuqa or the Banu Nadir. I'm here to discuss the Banu Qurayza.
No. Look, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadir, and Banu Qurayza. If I'm not mistaken, Banu Qurayza was the one who broke the treaty of Hudaybiyah when they sided with the Mushriks. Are they not the ones in the high towers?
No, Hudaybiyah was signed in 628. This is 627. This is the Battle of the Trench.
We're talking about Battle of Khandaq. I'm talking about Battle of Khandaq. I'm not talking about Hudaybiyah.
Okay.
Battle of Khandaq, sorry, my bad. Battle of Khandaq.
So what date is that again?
Well, it's definitely before the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. I don't know the exact date. But what I'm saying is that what they did is they allied themselves. They broke the treaty. Any country, any government, yeah?
What was the treaty called? What was the treaty called?
The Treaty of Medina.
The Treaty of Medina. They never signed the Treaty of Medina.
Yes, they did. It was given to all the tribes.
No, but the Treaty of Medina didn't. I mean, first of all, their names are not on it, and secondly, the Treaty of Medina says that the Prophet is the intercessor between man and God.
Look,
the Jews would not have. Had the Jews signed that treaty, they'd no longer be Jews.
Yes, they did. No, of course not. They did. They signed Treaty of Medina. The agreement of Allah's Prophet Muhammad should apply to the migrants, Quraysh, the citizens
Their
of
names are not
Yasrib,
on the Treaty of Medina.
who have accepted Islam, and all such people who are in agreement with the above mentioned
But their
bodies
names are not on the Treaty of
and
Medina.
side with them in war. Look, have no doubt that how could you have a treaty with the opposing party not signing it? Oh, we're in treaty. Did you sign? How could you have it? What? Please.
No, they're the peace. I mean,
I don't know why you're talking from me. You mention so many stuff. You got no sources. Yeah, here we go. Those who are party of this agreement should be treated as a body separate from all those who are not a party of this agreement. It is incumbent on all Muslims to help and extend sympathetic treatment to the Jews who have entered into an agreement with us. Neither an oppression of any type should be perpetrated on them, nor should the enemy be helped against them. Meaning, if the Jews have an enemy, the Muslims have to aid them. Aid the Jews. The Jews are the opposite. The Jews of, these are the tribes that were signed it. The Jews of Banu Auf, Banu Najjar, Banu Haris, Banu Saida, Banu Hashim, Banu Aus, Banu Sa'alaba, Banu Bani Jafna, and Bani Shutaybi, who are a party to this agreement, are the supporters of the Muslims, shall adhere to their religion and the Muslims to death, except in the religious matters. The Muslims and the Jews shall be regarded as belonging to a single party. If anyone from among them commits an outrage or breaks a promise, or is guilty of a crime, he shall deserve punishment of his crime. The subordinate branches of the above-mentioned tribes shall have the same rights as enjoyed to the original branches. If a third community wages war against the Muslims and the Jews, they will have to fight united. They should help each other mutually, and there should be mutual goodwill and faithfulness. The Jews shall bear the expenses of war, and the Muslims their expenses of war. This was done with who? The Prophet Muhammad did not order any execution, nor did he participate in any execution. On the contrary, the Prophet Muhammad graciously agreed to let the Banu Qurayza's own ally. Okay, here's where Banu Qurayza comes. Treaty of the Battle of Khandaq happens, and Sa'd ibn Mu'adh. Sa'd ibn Mu'adh was someone who had close ties with Banu Qurayza. In the Battle of Khandaq, they had to deal trenches, by the way, to defend themselves. Somebody threw an arrow that hit Sa'd ibn Mu'adh.
Was Sa'd ibn Mu'adh a Jew or a Muslim at the time?
No, at the time he became a Muslim.
But the Jews didn't know he was a Muslim.
I think so, yes, that might be correct.
No, I mean, they thought he was a Jew. But he was a Muslim.
No, I'm sure he made it vocal. Because that's what Allah says in the Quran. Laysu sawa. Because there are people
he hated Jews once he converted to Islam.
Why would he hate Jews? They have a treaty that they have to defend them. Why would he?
No, I mean Sa'd ibn Mu'adh.
Come on.
Sa'd ibn Mu'adh.
Sa'd ibn Mu'adh got hit by an arrow by who? The Quraysh. Now who hated the Quraysh? Banu Qurayza.
But the Banu Qurayza were in the city.
One second.
So why didn't they attack the Muslims if they were in the city?
Now check this out. Look how just this. This story gets really nice, yeah? Sa'd ibn Mu'adh is injured. He's about to die. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, the Jews came and said to him, let Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, yeah, I think they picked him themselves. Let me read it for you so I'm not misquoting, yeah? Sa'd ibn Mu'adh of Aus delivered the word.
So your point is that they were attacked because of the Treaty of Medina?
No, of course, the Treaty of Medina, the Quraysh, they've got three enemies. The Quraysh, the Munafiqun inside them, and Banu Qurayza, Banu Qaynuqa, Banu Nadir, the others who were expelled, they broke the treaty. These are the ones who Allah talks about in the Quran, and even Surah Ma'idah 32, some scholars say it refers to them, not the highway robbers. Some hold that opinion, yeah? The point is the following. Muslims have been persecuted for so long. They had the Battle of Badr, they won. Battle of Uhud was...
Not by the Banu Qurayza.
Battle of Khandaq, man, they are in circles. Allah says in the Quran, the companions were so scared, Allah says they were thinking about Allah, all kinds of stuff. They got munafiqs inside them. They got Quraysh opposite them. They got Banu Qurayza breaking the treaty on the other side, aiding them. They are in circles. So here, when the Quraysh left them and ran away, then treaty. What? Sa'd ibn Mu'adh was the one who was going to give the decision. Whatever Sa'd said. And Sa'd said, fighting men are going to be killed, and the women and men are going to be, the young boys are going to be captives. This was the judgment of Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, and the Prophet peace be upon him said, indeed the judgment he gave is the same as what Allah would have given.
So why did the Muslims have to siege the town for 25 days?
Of course, because they were not coming out.
But you said that they signed it. You said that they made an agreement to breathe. No, but you said they made an agreement.
No.
You said that they made an agreement by Sa'd ibn Mu'adh.
No. Once the 25 days.
But they were sieged for 25 days.
No. Once they were sieged 25 days, they were in their castles. Yeah. Once they came out, they said, let Sa'd ibn Mu'adh decide.
Because they thought he was a Jew and he was a Muslim.
No.
He converted to Islam.
No. He was a Muslim. Yeah.
Like he converted, and the Jews didn't know. The Jews thought he was a Jew.
No. They know Sa'd is just. They know he was a Muslim. When he came and gave the verdict, what did they say? They said, and look, forget this, man. It's the Bible. It's the Bible. This is from the Bible. The Bible says, check this out, yeah? Let me show you. You probably like this, yeah? Let me show you something, yeah? Okay. There's a verse in the Bible that commands the Jews the
point of Banu Qurayza, is that the Banu Qurayza never killed any Muslims. They never harmed any Muslims. And you say that they're being punished because of the Treaty of Medina, but they were told to take their trousers down.
No, they
were told to take their trousers down to see. I mean, if the men were guilty, why was everyone told to take their trousers down?
No.
To
see who's an adult, because you were defined as an adult if you had pubic hair. So anyone that was a young boy, because it goes against your argument about this is very good. It goes against your argument of Khidr. Because if boys were allowed to kill, they say Khidr killed, we're allowed to kill. Why were they checking if putting their trousers down to see if they're puberty? Because no, one second. No. This I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Yeah.
Okay,
what did they do?
So?
What did they do? They could have used a Khidr argument. They could have said Khidr came and the boy could have been killed. And Musa alayhi salam is and if you think about it, it's from Banu Israel. It's a very good example. They didn't use that. They said the boy's a slave, the fighting men all executed. And this is the same ruling in the Bible.
No,
the Old Testament, if you go to the Old Testament, it gives the same ruling.
But the point of the matter is that the boys who had any pubic hair were killed.
Yes, because they're seen as adult.
What did they do?
Listen.
They were innocent.
No.
Which brings our argument
Let me tell you something. Yeah?
Which brings our argument.
Let me tell you something. You know the way you make talk. I think the next you're going to say that Hitler was innocent as well.
No, Hitler wasn't innocent.
No, but the way you make it seem.
No, but
I mean,
what's our debate about? What's our debate about? Are you allowed to kill innocent people?
You're not. It's haram.
And the Banu Qurayza boys were told. The Banu Qurayza were told to take their trousers down.
Yes.
Now, if they were guilty already,
yes.
Why would you not just kill the people who were guilty? Why did you tell them to take their trousers down?
No, because why? In Islam, the fighting men are the ones that get executed. You can't go and, if you go and kill someone unjustly, you're going to be standing in front of Allah.
Collective punishment, in other words.
No, if you go and say, okay, I'm a child, I don't care, I'm going to kill you. This is haram in Islam. This is the reason why Abu Bakr, when he sent Muslim armies to war, he said, do not kill innocent men, women, children, elderly, trees. My point is the following: you are not allowed to kill innocent people in Islam.
Then, how do you explain the armies of? I mean, I've moved from Banu Qurayza now to the armies of Umar and Abu Bakr and all that. Now we know that Abu Bakr went on a war of apostasy. He went on a war with anyone who didn't want to stay in Islam. Some of them didn't want to pay zakat. Some of them didn't want to. Some of them wanted to go back to paganism.
Superman,
the apostasy war.
Be careful.
The apostasy war
wasn't Ridda. 1 second.
The Ridda wars.
But the scholars differ. You know why? Some say that they were Muslims. So that means that Abu Bakr waged war on the Muslims that they were not paying the zakah.
No, because some people wanted to go back to their old religion.
No. There was 3 categories. Yeah, there were the ones who wanted to go back to their old religion.
Yeah.
There were the ones who were Muslims but were rejecting to pay the zakah because they were saying we used to pay the Messenger of God. Now that he's not here, we're not paying zakah.
That's correct.
Okay, so that shows that the Muslims were going to war with the Muslims who were not paying zakah.
And if you're not paying zakat, then you're not following one of the 5 pillars, which means that they can takfir these people and call these people as disbelievers.
That was one opinion, but the other opinion is that they were Muslims who were refusing to pay the zakah. Because if you think about it, in the issue of salah, somebody who leaves the salah, there's a big dispute. Is he a believer, disbeliever? The Prophet said the difference between us and the disbelievers is the salah. There's a whole discussion on salah. Zakah, here, if there's a discussion on salah, what about zakah? Salah is something that they said, scholars said, if somebody says, salah is not fard on me, you're a kafir, you're a disbeliever, and there's a capital punishment on you. But here some of the scholars say that they waged war. Why? Because they were Muslims who were not paying the zakah. And they waged war on them until they started paying the zakah. So what they could have, if they left the fold of Islam because of not paying zakah, they should have took their shahadas again. They didn't take the shahada. They agreed to pay the zakah.
But they came back to Islam like everybody else.
No. If that was the case, they would have had to take the shahada. Repeat after me. No, they said we agreed to pay the zakah.
Wasn't everybody a Muslim by the time of Umar in the Arab Peninsula? By the time of Umar, everybody was a Muslim. Yeah? Umar came after Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr went on a war, sometimes called the War of Apostasy, sometimes called the Ridda Wars.
Yes.
But everybody after that war, everybody was Muslim in Arabia.
Yeah.
So everybody became Muslim. That's why it's called the War of Apostasy.
No. It was before anyways. For example, at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, when he went to the war of Hunayn, the battle of Hunayn happened, yeah? There were other sub-tribes that were trying to attack them. In large proportion, majority of them were Muslims anyways. But what happened was the following. Majority of them were Muslims. When the Prophet died, some of them said, well, hold on a second, we don't need to pay the zakat. The issue was zakat. And what you say, some scholars say, okay, you don't pay zakah, you're a disbeliever. But some said they are Muslims, but zakah has to be paid. It has to be paid. So the point here was that someone not paying the zakah, if you fight them, you have to get them to come back to Islam. Yeah? They fought them to pay the zakah. And the Prophet said, Abu Bakr said, I will fight them until they pay the zakah.
Abu Bakr also said he will fight anybody until they return back to Islam.
There was another group of people who left Islam totally and went back to their old ways.
Yeah.
Yes, but
those people are innocent though, because all they want to do is go back to their old religion.
1 second. No, My friend, listen to me. When America took over, Americans took over America, yeah, they committed calamities to the Aboriginals, yeah,
To the natives, yeah.
to the natives,
Yeah.
to the natives, yeah?
Yeah.
This is haram. What you are talking about is this. This is a Christian country. Let's suppose the Mongolians come and they take over United Kingdom, yeah? They have a set of rules. You like it, you don't like it. You pay a jizya, for example. We have in Islam, there's 3 conditions when you go to war. You accept Islam. No accept, you pay the jizya. No jizya, we're fighting you. Now, why? The fighting army. Why? Because the message of Islam, some scholars say, the reason why these 3 options are in place, because the message of Islam has to be shared with the wider world. So if we're going to go into Rome and we're going to share this and we know the fighting army is going to stop us, we're telling the fighting army, accept Islam and join us. We don't want you. No problem. You can practice your religion, you have to pay jizya. We're not going to pay jizya. We're going to fight you. So if they pay jizya, they are allowed to eat pork, drink alcohol in their own communities as long as they pay jizya. But Muslims cannot force them to accept Islam. Conquest is not forced conversion.
But Umar's army went to war with people who
Romans.
didn't attack, didn't attack it.
Yeah.
And so did the Muslims who followed them.
No, 100%. Look, for example, listen, the times we live in, a lot of big countries, big powers have nuclear powers. Why? Because they want to let the other one know, don't mess around with me. This is the nature of man. If you're not going to conquer, you're going to be conquered. So Islam didn't do anything different. What Islam did is it conquered lands. Yes, can we say Umar ibn Khattab started invading countries that were not waging war on them? Yeah, I'll agree with you, no problem. But the point is this, that was not forced conversion. Otherwise, you will not have millions of Coptic Christians in Egypt.
But it is, Egypt used to be, all Christian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and they fought against the Christians.
Yeah.
And the Catholics.
Yes.
And they fought against the Romans. And they fought against the Muslims. And then they were reduced from being 99% Christian to 10% in their land.
No. Let's be real here. We do Dawah. Do you know how many people come into Islam in this park? I can give you 100 examples.
How many of them leave?
How many? Okay, listen, with argument, 100 come, 20 leave. Argument, let's suppose, yeah? The point is the following. We don't need war. Allah says in the Quran, fight with them a greater fighting. You know what scholars say? This is the Quran. Let me tell you something. I promise you, I don't need weapons. Let me preach Islam till I die. We do not need weapons. Okay. I'll make it very bold and clear.
But yet you're told to fight people.
My biggest weapon is this. Let me tell you something.
But you're told to fight people until they pay you jizya.
Look, listen to me, Superman, yeah? Let's come to common terms, yeah? Okay, we're having a nice discussion. We're
learning
of each other, yeah?
We are.
A couple of years ago we had a bad start, but Allah says in the Quran, you know what Allah says? You might have enmity with someone, which Allah will grow love between you guys, yeah? Okay. I'm not saying there's love, but no. When I mean love, I'm talking about. No, you never know. How do you know you want to accept Islam? How do you know? You never know. The point is the following: this is my weapon, and this is the most powerful weapon to me. Let me preach this. I don't need guns. I don't need weapons. I don't need weapons of mass destruction. Let me preach this. And let me tell you something.
But you actually said that you're going to fight people if they don't pay you jizya.
No, you missed the point. Look, let me tell you something. Conquest. Please understand me, Superman.
Okay.
Conquest, and once again I'm calling him Superman because he's the first to be called that. I'm not mocking him, yeah? Superman, what we're seeing is, look, every government, every nation conquers. America went and conquered and killed millions of people around the world unjustly. In Islam, this is haram. You cannot go to lands and kill them.
But
so much so.
You're told in your book to go and conquer them.
Sorry?
You're told in your religion to go and conquer these people. For example, your prophet did say, I've been ordered to fight people until they become Muslims.
No, that's hadith. The scholars say, Ibn Hajar Asqalani in his book, if I'm not mistaken, he says this is specific to Quraysh, the Arabian Peninsula. The Arabian Peninsula, you either accept Islam or you out.
Well, who are the people? The people are
Quraysh,
everybody.
The Jews, Umar ibn Khattab kicked them out after. The Arabian Peninsula have to be. Even if you go to the Vatican, there are certain places, even if you go to India, there might be certain places they'll say we don't want Muslims. No problem. If you don't want it, you don't want it. What can I do about it?
But if I say to you, I've been ordered to fight people until they become Muslims,
but the Arabic,
then
if you don't know the Arabic language, you're reading in English as people. The people